Greetings, good morning, happy Monday. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Here it is just a glorious weather. Was able to get outside and I took some pictures of some beautiful fall colors all around us. So here we are. It's our usual Monday check-in to see what can we focus on letting go of. If you've been following my work, you know that I am an intuitive mindset cultivator. I help people get clear on what are the blocks, what are the limitations that's maybe stopping you playing the game that you as a soul intended to. Because sometimes we forget. We forget how powerful we are. We forget that each one of us has a unique gift and each one of us has access to our own inner wisdom. But sometimes we forget that. So the intent with these little sessions is to help us step into that and play full out with all that we can. So if you're here live, say hi. Or if you're watching the replay, the energy, it's kind of like we stamp the energy of this regardless if you're watching with me real time or you're catching the recording. So what I do, this is my deck of cards. It's the letting go guidance system. And we will collectively, we're going to tap into, good morning, Mesha. Good morning, Sheena. Nice to see you both here. So as I shuffle these and I invite you to come into this sort of energy bubble with me, I like to just kind of check in with what's happening planetary wise, moon cycle wise. We are headed for a, good morning, Marion. Nice to see you here too. We're heading for a full moon. I didn't make note of when that is because the biggest piece, the most auspicious thing to think of right now is that Saturn is moving direct in relationship to the Earth. And the Saturn retrograde has been with us since May. So it's 5 months of this Saturn retrograde. Saturn is all about responsibility, doing the structural discipline type things that we need to do in order to, create the format and the path to shine our light, to share our gifts, to be in alignment with our calling. As Mesha says, good morning, everybody. So because it moves direct, that's almost like things in the next 48 hours or so, as this shifts, it can feel a wee bit like things kind of slow and go into slow motion. So it's really, good morning, Ruth Ann. It's really a good time to just make sure that you tap into your own awareness, because sometimes we are called upon to just witness something as opposed to you have to go in and fix it or do something. So it's all about just recalibrating, checking in with your inner guidance, and making sure that you take calculated, inspired action based on what you know deep down is the right things to do. And that actually also is an important part about what you allow to have in your mind. Because sometimes we hold on to things and think we have to figure them out, and maybe we don't. Maybe we can just notice a fleeting thought and say, okay, thank you, and go off into the next thinking part, because maybe that thought is not yours, and maybe it's not yours to believe. So feel into that, and just think back to May, what kind of things started to play out for you, and just realize that now we're going to start flowing a bit more, but flowing from a sense of recognizing what's your part to play in this responsibility thing. And always remember, responsibility is the ability to respond, rather than, some people think this is a wee bit of a heavy thing of like, oh, I have to do something, but it's not. It's the ability to respond. So you actually have the ability to respond to every thought, every word, every idea. Sometimes it's a yes and sometimes it's a no. That's just one or the other, as opposed to right or wrong. Hope that makes sense. So all that being said, actually, before I draw this, take a nice deep breath with me. Let's just land fully here and see what can we focus on letting go of in order to really tap into what I just shared and feel into that fully. And look at that. It's judgmental thoughts. I like that. So I just said that, didn't I? Don't you love how that works? Sorry. So the thing is remember, judgmental thoughts may not even be yours. So don't guess. Misha's responsibility. Don't always think that every thought that comes through your awareness is yours. Sometimes you can actually be picking up somebody else's thinking process or having a loop that no longer serves you playing out. So how does judgmental thoughts come up for you? And can you just say, thank you? I'm not going to listen to that anymore. Sometimes that's all we have to do is to interrupt the pattern of that thought and appreciate it and let it go. But let me read this out to you. Let go of the need to worry about what is going on in other people's lives. Also, let go of the need to label your own habits and behaviors. Each one of us has an inner judge, but it's possible to release yourself from the incessant judgmental chatter. The best way to do this is to ensure that you are in the present moment. Take a deep breath. A little funny sidebar is prior to hopping on here, I recorded another guided meditation all about the inner judge. So we're really in a vibe here. Learning to become mindful of your thoughts in the present moment is a crucial step toward the ultimate release of judgmental and fearful thoughts. When you are unaware of how your thoughts may be impacting your emotions, bodily sensations, and interactions with other people, it's quite difficult to let fearful thoughts go. Good morning, Sandy. You can apply mindfulness to your experience with judgment and fear by committing to directing your attention towards such thoughts as they come up, noticing they're just thoughts created by your mind, not necessarily facts. So don't you love the flow of this? I just said, are you believing a thought that's not really the truth anymore? Now, when judgments arise in your consciousness, try labeling them as just that, judgments. Allow yourself to have such thoughts without acting on them impulsively. Just observe them, accept them in the moment, and then let go. And that's what this is all about. It's just acknowledging, so you don't get stuck into a story of shaming or blaming or being upset because there's a thought or a judgment. It just is. And as soon as you can do that, it's almost like you extract it by the roots, because you don't need to get into the story of what is attached to that judgmental aspect, right? And the truth is, it's always there. We all have it, regardless of how much work we do, it's there. So then you want to turn the volume down, say, yes, okay, I hear you, go sit in the corner because I'm not listening to you. Things like that. I'm just shuffling my tarot cards here because I like to pull one tarot card to see, can we get a wee bit more insight into this idea of letting go of judgmental thoughts? And then we will pull 3 of the Doreen Virtue Angel cards too. So let's see. And it is the 9 of Cups. That's a beautiful one. Sandy says, amazing, just what I've been working on again. Of course, we are all connected, right? So the thing about the 9 of Cups, I love that, because the 9 of Cups is a reminder to you to come into your heart energy, to feel the abundance that you really are, to feel that you have everything that you need. In fact, when you keep taking your deep breaths and really coming into the guidance of your own heart, you actually have such an abundance and so much access to your own inner wisdom that you can actually share. You get to be the beacon of light that maybe other people need to see, so they can aspire to their own. That's funny, I just picked this up as abundance. It was that card there. So it's all about going at a good pace and accepting you're exactly at the right place at the right time with absolutely everything you need right here, right now. Because the truth is, if you were to need something else, it would show up exactly at the right time. So this is a really big piece about building your trust and telling the truth. Because the truth is, At every single moment, I have everything that I need. Right here, right now, you have what you need. Don't let that judgy thoughts come in and say, oh, yeah, but. Because if you don't have it right now, then you don't need it right now. Because it will show up exactly when you need it. So now, thank you, Samadhi. Sandy agrees with that. So I'm just going to pull our 3 angel cards to see. So it's really fascinating, this energy of the Saturn going direct, because this feels like some really powerful shifts for us. And obviously it looks like we've been asking for them. So watch this. This is a beautiful sequence. So answered prayer. That's the first one that comes up. So perhaps there's been a part of you saying, how can I feel into my own guidance? How can I access the wisdom from my higher self? How can I take this responsibility aspect and go into really seeing that it is the ability to respond, and then co-create with your own guide, your own connection to source. And it's actually a very healing time. So I just said to you that as Saturn goes direct, and it started, I believe, today, and so it'll be impacting us for the next couple of days. So things will just start to slow down a little bit, and that's going to be very healing and nurturing for all of us. So that's actually a beautiful card. And then watch this. This is what it's all about, is new beginnings. So by letting go of judgmental thoughts and accepting your role in what you are co-creating, because you're always co-creating, and you have to let the universe do its part for you, and then engage with that. So it's a pretty awesome time. This is the last 2 days of September. And I've mentioned this before, that the month September was a 9-month, which is endings. So this is beautifully orchestrated, that we are wrapping up habits, judgmental thoughts, things that no longer serve, and we're letting them go so that we can step fully into October, which is, of course, a 1. October is the 10th month, but it's a 1. So we start to begin again, but begin with an up-leveled approach. So all that said, you get to welcome in October this week. So I wish you an amazing week ahead, and I'll be checking in again with you next week. Thank you for watching. Much love.